Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Bethany and today we're going to talk about everything that I read in July and kind of an update or what to expect from me in August. So if you can hear a dog snoring, she is sleeping right behind me, so I apologize about that. But I had a really slow reading month in July, especially compared to like the few months before that. In June, I read 12 books. I think I read around that in May and April maybe, or just somewhere in that range. So in July, I read 4 books. No 5 stars, but all 4 of these books were 4 stars, so it's like a good month, just slower. And I'm okay with that. I'm trying to be okay with that. I was kind of disappointed because I had all these plans and I wanted to participate in all these book clubs, and I didn't really make it to any of like the online book club chats yet. So I was kind of disappointed about that. But just everything else in my life has been really busy, and we're just getting ready for fall and school, and we actually did start homeschool at the end of July, and so I was just trying to kind of prepare for that. And also work has once again gotten really busy, and so I'm just having to balance my work life and my mom life and homeschool life, and I'm so thankful that I have the ability to do that, but I definitely have to make decisions because my career is very flexible. My child is very independent and smart, and he does a lot of independent work on his own, and you know, he has access to me through that whole time. But I still, even when you have like a flexible job, you still have to like get things done. And so I'm really trying to balance out my time, and make sure that, like, obviously my priority is my child and his education, and so I'm really trying to make sure that I'm focusing on that, and that also I'm focusing on my job. It's very important. Also, and I'm just saying that because I don't know what to expect with Booktube this next month and for the fall. Last year, this is the time that I just stopped making videos and really stopped watching Booktube and just took a step away. It just became a little bit overwhelming, and it was our first year on this homeschool working journey, and it went really well. Obviously we're continuing, so that's great. But I did take a step back from Booktube during that season. I don't want to completely step away. I don't plan on it this year, because we know what we're doing a little bit now. We have a good system, we have good curriculum, we just kind of know what we're doing. But that doesn't make more hours in the day. So I don't know what to tell you. I'm not going to do a TBR for August. So in this video, I just want to kind of share with you what some of my plans are as far as content and kind of where I'll be on the internet in August. So I'm going to share that, and I'm going to try not to set a TBR for me other than a couple of like book clubs that I know I'm participating in. Just because I don't want to overwhelm myself. I don't want to set high expectations. I'm okay with reading 4 books a month. I'm okay with reading less than that. I want to read good books and enjoy what I'm reading, and I'm okay with missing out or waiting on some of the others. So yeah, that's kind of my update, and I'm so thankful to have this problem, even though it's not a problem. I am thankful that there's so many things that I get to spend my time on. I'm thankful for the job that I have and the work that I do, and I'm thankful, so thankful to be able to homeschool. And I'm also so grateful for Booktube and the friendships I've made on here. And so the other area of my life is like service and church, and I'm really thankful for that too. So it's all good things. I'm just trying to balance it and pull back in some areas possibly. So there's my update on my life and kind of what to expect from me. And I guess what I'm saying is don't expect too much as far as Booktube goes. But I do want to be here and participate and encourage others. I am behind on watching videos though, so yeah, if I haven't commented on your video, sorry, but I will catch up eventually, or I'll get around to it at some point. I love watching YouTube videos, and I'm trying to kind of designate a little spot in my week for that, but yeah, I've just kind of started following a lot of booktubers, so there's a lot of videos out there on my watch later list. So anyway, let's go ahead and talk about the books I read in July. I did a lot of talking there, but I don't have a lot of books to talk about for July. So let's start with The Summer of Yes by Courtney Walsh. I had this on NetGalley, and okay, pause. Let's talk about NetGalley because I really regret signing up for NetGalley. I feel like that's probably how a lot of people feel, and I just wish that I wouldn't have done it. I was able to get a couple of books that I was really anticipating that way early when I first signed up, and so that was great, but then I just kind of let it get out of hand, and I feel like it almost hinders my enjoyment of the book because it's like this expectation that I put on myself. I'm behind right now, and I just wish I wouldn't have done that, to be honest. So anyway, I had this on NetGalley, and so maybe that is part of the reason why it didn't get 5 stars from me, but it was slow for me at first, and Georgina was pretty unlikable, and so I really wasn't, I don't know, I just didn't get into it right away. But the growth and story and the people in this book ended up being so good. So it got 4 stars from me. It's about Kelsey, who is a workaholic. She is very driven in her career, but says no to a lot of personal relationships and things with her family and her friends. And she ends up getting hit by a car, like coming out of Starbucks, and she is in the hospital and is okay, but wakes up just and starts thinking kind of about her life and her choices. She's also sharing a hospital room with Georgina Tate, who is like this famous businesswoman. I think she has like a cosmetic company, but Kelsey definitely knows about her, and she's like wondering, was it worth it for you, like, to do all of that? Like, what did you have to sacrifice to grow your business and all that? Anyway, so Georgina is definitely, like I said, pretty unlikable, grouchy, just not very nice. And so Kelsey wants to get Georgina to go on this adventure with her this summer of yes, to say yes to the things that they've said no to, and just kind of enjoy life a little bit. So she convinces Georgina to do this, and the story from there just got really good. And the people in it, there is a little bit of romance, not as much for Courtney Walsh from what I read, but the romance was really good. The male characters were so good. I just loved that. I just love when writers write male characters like that. And so I really enjoyed that part of it, and I really enjoyed the friendship between Kelsey and Georgina, that kind of like multi-generational friendship, and the growth and kind of getting to see, so we get perspective from Georgina, which I think really helped me, because Otherwise, like I said, she was unlikable and I was frustrated with her, but I think getting her perspective, even though I was still frustrated with her, it helped me to kind of see where she was struggling and kind of see some growth in her, and I appreciated that. And I think Courtney Walsh just writes really good books, so I'm looking forward to reading more from her. Definitely. And I definitely recommend this one if you haven't read it yet. Summer's not quite over, so go ahead and pick it up. Okay, the next one that I read is Night Falls on Predicament Avenue. This is by Jamie Jo Wright. This was my first Jamie Jo Wright, and I read it for an in-person book club, which was so exciting and so much fun. I really liked it. I think I'm going to be reading more from Jamie Jo Wright. It's like spooky and a little dark, but she is a Christian and it does have like hope and light in it too. So I like that. I was into the story, I was into the mystery of it. It's like historical, it was dual timeline, which I know people have said that is how all of her books are, and I enjoy that. I really enjoy historical fiction, I enjoy dual timeline. So that was all good for me. It did feel kind of gothic, which I really enjoyed and learned that I really like that in books. So I kind of want to get a little bit more into that genre and kind of figure out some good gothic style books that I will like. So anyway, it was following a girl in the like 1901 who her sister witnessed a crime or murder, she thinks, but her sister is sick, and also that like experience kind of made her to where she couldn't really talk about it. Like she was kind of having like a mental breakdown, and so she's trying to figure out what her sister saw, what happened. The police go and they're like, oh, there's nothing here, like nothing happened. And it's in like a creepy old house. So then we're going to present day, where I've forgotten all the names by now, but you know, that's how it is. So the main character in present timeline, I just remembered. One of them is Nora. I think that's the past timeline. Anyway, present timeline girl, she is running a bed and breakfast out of that house. So it's like, you know, obviously in the future the house has been restored and it's not as creepy, although it still kind of is. And she's running a bed and breakfast, and one of her patrons or whatever dies of a heart attack, but the wife is like, he saw a ghost, that's what made him die. So anyway, so there's like a mystery. Also, the present timeline girl, her sister was murdered 13 years prior, so she's dealing with a lot about that, like grief and how to kind of get over that. That was also unsolved. So a man who is doing a podcast comes to stay at the bed and breakfast, and he is doing research on the 1901 murder, but also obviously he's a little bit interested in the sister's murder that was just 13 years ago. And so he's kind of trying to get information about that, and the main character in the present timeline doesn't want him to look into her sister's murder. She really just wants to avoid that. And so I thought it was really good as far as how people grieve, and I don't know, I really liked it. Like I said, I want to read more from Jamie Jo Wright because of this book, and I'm glad that we read it for book club and we're able to discuss it there. Okay, so I already told you that all of my 4 books for July were all 4 stars, so you're gonna get that information from me. But the next 2 books, I am currently in the middle of a vlog that they are in, so I'm not going to share my thoughts yet, but you get to know that I rated them 4 stars. So the first one is Belladonna by Adeline Grace. This is also a gothic fantasy, and like I said, I'm not going to say much because the vlog will hopefully come out sometime in August. I have one more book and a novella that I'm reading for that vlog. that I just started. So we're at the beginning of August. That vlog should appear somewhere on YouTube in August. That is my plan as of right now. So Belladonna will be in that reading vlog, and I will share more of my thoughts there. The other one that I rated 4 stars that's also in that reading vlog is Heart of Red, Blood of Blue by Rebecca Billiston, I think. I'll put a picture of it up. I enjoyed this, obviously gave it 4 stars, but I'm not going to share any more about it because it is going to be in more detail in my vlog. So yeah, my vlog is a reading vlog, reading fantasy, and obviously, judging by the stars, it's going pretty well. So look forward to that sometime in August. And that is my wrap up for July. Not very long, but I did do a lot of chatting. So for the rest of August, I'll kind of tell you what my plans are. It is my birthday month, so I would love to do more, but like I said, real life is really hectic and busy and lovely and wonderful, and I'm so thankful for it, but I don't know what I'll do as far as content. Exactly. I do know that I'm going to be on reading sprints with Keisha on her channel on August 13th. That's the day before my birthday, so I definitely said yes to that as a little treat for myself, and get to hang out with Keisha. This will be my first time sprinting with Keisha. Keisha is so sweet. I'm just so excited to hang out with her and do reading sprints with you guys. Also, I think I'm going to be, I don't know the details yet, but I think I'm going to be joining Krista on her channel. Let me grab that book really quick. Okay, so Krista is doing a read along this month of Hind's Feet on High Places by Hannah Hernard, and I started reading this actually last August and didn't finish it. I didn't get very far into it. I do this all the time, so it's not that this book was not good. I just start books a lot and then start other books and don't finish. So I will be joining Krista, I believe. We don't have the details figured out yet, but on one of her lives. If I know when I'm editing this video, I'll put the date down here. But that is exciting. I'm really excited. This is a Christian allegory, and when I started reading it, it was really good. I just wanted to take it slow. So this will be good because they're reading it throughout the whole month. And so Krista has like chapters for certain weeks. So that'll be helpful for me. So I will probably be on one of those live events talking about this book, and I'm excited for that. This is just like perfect for my birthday month that I'm going to be on Keisha's channel and potentially on Krista's channel, because when I started watching Booktube probably about 2 years ago, I had like a handful of people that I loved watching, and like they were like my introduction to Booktube, and I just really like felt a connection. Like I just felt like I liked what they were reading and I liked their content, and they just seemed so kind. And Krista and Keisha were both one of those girls, and so the fact that I get to be on their channels is just so fun. And to think that I would start a Booktube channel and then be on their channels, reading with them and talking about books with them, I just kind of can't believe that. So anyway, that's such a fun like gift for me for my birthday month, that I get to spend time with some of my like first Booktube people. And so I'm really looking forward to doing that. And if I do nothing else in August, those 2 things you can expect from me. Should have my fantasy reading vlog out in August. There's a couple of other things that I might get to. So I do plan on making a book of the month try a chapter for the book of the month readathon that Krista and Amy do. It's a 2-week readathon. We're actually in it right now. But last year what I did is I picked books from my book of the month TBR for each prompt, and then I did a try a chapter, and I only ended up reading one of those books, which is completely fine, and I feel like that's a really good expectation for me this month. So I'm gonna do that again this year, where I pick books for all of the prompts and then do a try a chapter video and rank them and then pick the book that I'm going to read. So that's what I'm going to do to celebrate the Book of the Month Catch-Up-a-thon. I will put more information about that down below, but it's so much fun. I do have a pretty healthy Book of the Month TBR stack. I'm still signed up with Book of the Month, even though I feel like our taste, mine and Book of the Month, keeps drifting further and further away. I do appreciate that they put some new authors on there, some debut authors. I also appreciate that they put some content warnings and kind of what to expect, but here lately I just go every month and look and I'm like, ugh. So anyway, but I found really great books through there. It's reasonably priced for hardcover books, and especially if you get add-ons. So I'm not like totally mad at them. I'm not ready to break up completely, but we definitely are drifting apart. So but I still have plenty to choose from for the Book of the Month Catch-Up-a-thon, and I probably will for quite a few years, even if I only get 1 or 2 books a year from them, which is kind of where I've been at lately. So we'll see how that goes, and I hope to have that video coming out in August. The only other one is actually also Krista related, so this is like my month that's all about Krista stuff. So I am reading, or I want to read, Drowning for my book Like Krista, one of Krista's favorites from last year. This was on my July TBR, so you might be thinking, didn't you already read that? But I had big expectations for July and did not read those books. So usually when I've done this, I've kind of done like a series of reading one of my favorite booktubers, one of their favorite books from last year. I usually do a vlog, so I would like to do that with Drowning. That's by TJ Newman, and we'll see if that happens. That will probably be like the last part of August if I get to that. So you might be seeing that vlog. The only other book kind of on my radar is the Becoming Elizabeth Elliot book. I did start that for the Revive book club, but I did not get very far and ended up needing to pick up the Jamie Jo Wright book for my in-person book club, and so I've kind of abandoned it. But I would like to read it still, so I might end up doing that in August. So we'll see what happens. Those are my very, very loose plans for August. And yeah, I don't know. I hope that you stick around, even though I might not be very consistent. And I love talking about books with you guys. I love chatting in the comments. If you have any questions, let me know. Yeah, I don't know what else to say other than bear with me. I will link everything down below, links to sprints or anything, any information about where I will be in the month of August on the internet. So thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for being here. It means so much to me, and I just really appreciate you. And I pray that you have a wonderful August. I pray that Jesus reveals himself to you and that you would know him as your savior. And if you ever have any questions about him or the Bible or God, you can ask me. Like, I'm not an expert, but I know Jesus and I love him and I'm so thankful for him. So if you ever are just curious about my faith, feel free to reach out and I would love to chat with you about that. All right, guys, I hope you have the best day and I will talk to you next time. Bye.